I should definitely compliment everybody and pray for Goddess Varalakshmi for giving us strength and also the Lakshmi, what we call money, Sabse Vada Rupaya. So we pray all to Goddess Lakshmi for today's Varalakshmi Ratham. Varalakshmi Ratham is performed in South, especially in Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra, Telangana, and also in Tamil Nadu. So I wish all the devotees a happy Varalakshmi Puja Day. Welcome to the Railway Academy platform, where we are conducting various webinars, various trainings. We have association with the different universities, to name them Raid Bahara University in Mohali and Ramaya University in Bangalore. We do conduct postgraduate diploma in railway signaling, which I will be giving the details later. Our international collaborations are with Transfer, CBTC and IRSC. We have conducted successfully around 10 PG diploma courses. We commenced our Railway Academy way back in 2016, and we supported with different sources, associates and human sources with Thales, Tech Mahindra, GG Tonics, Ansaldo STS Bangalore, Alstom, Railtel, Saint, Siemens and Texmaco. So these are the different companies we supported with our supports. The people, those who are trained with us, are joining them. So to brief about me, I am Mr. Narayan Parvatikar. I did my science graduation from Karnataka University, Dharwad, way back in 1972. I joined Railways as a signal engineer, and also I worked with the Indian Railway Institute of Railway Signaling and Telecommunication at Secunderabad as a faculty member. I am a domain trainer in railway signaling. I did my diploma in training and development conducted by ISTD New Delhi, and also I am a certified soft skill trainer. I am a license holder of Signal Design Verifier as a Signal Design Verifier issued by Irstalo, Secunderabad. Recently, I have added one more feather in my cap by certifying myself into ISO 9001-2015 Certified Lead Auditor for controlling the quality. I request everybody to kindly mute your mobile phones. At the same time, I also request all the people to kindly mute or kindly put off your videos. During the corona, the video is not preferable because sometimes the people may be joining online classes in this fashion. So probably which will be seen by everybody. I request everybody to kindly keep your videos off. Metro train functioning, which is made simple, is the today's session. This session is planned for 2 hours. After 1 hour almost, I will give a break of 5 minutes, and again we'll restart. Before restarting, we will attend to the queries asked by the participants here. It is highly a technical topic. Metro technology has rolled out in the world and also in India. Many cities are coming with metro projects. To name them, Delhi metros, Kolkata metro, Hyderabad metro, Cochin metro, Jaipur metro, Bangalore metro, Chennai metro. Various projects are in the pipeline and which are coming into Indian scenario. A very highly technical topic. But it is in a non-technical way told here. It is in a very simple way I am narrating how a metro technology works. I do appreciate participants here to join in any age group with any qualification. Prior knowledge of railway signaling, railway technology is not necessary for this webinar. So this topic is highly a technical topic, but narrated in a non-technical way. I do accept your queries. I do welcome your queries. However, technical queries, if I answer the technical queries, as the participants are from non-technical field also, even few children and students have joined from different colleges and different families. For them, it is a boring topic. And if there are non-technical queries, if I answer them, probably the highly technical people who are attending this webinar, who are qualified and who are working with the metro technology will feel bored. To balance them, I request you can understand what I mean. Why a name metro came here? It is because it is suitable for metropolitan cities where the cities are spread over across a common place. Hence, we came with the name metro train services. However, it is not confined only to metro. Different countries are having different names for this metro. Toronto is having called as a rapid transit system. In Toronto, it is called as rapid transit. In Beijing, it is called as a subway. In Germany and Australia, it is called as U-Bahn. Sweden and Norway, it is called as Tunnelbahn. Rapid transit or mass transit is called as. So these are the different names are called for the metro technology. In India, we call it as the metro trains. And the London Underground, which is the oldest one, is called as LUL, London Underground Limited. It is also called as a tube rail, which is running in the tunnels in London. The history of metro, if I go back into the histories, let us now see the history of metro in brief. The London Underground has started way back in 1863. Now it is being revamped with the communication-based train control system. Paris Metro, it commenced way back in 1900. In India, Calcutta Metro commenced or started functioning in 1984. In Delhi, it was in 1998. So these are the few informations about metro technologies in different cities, different parts of the world, how they started. To commence with this topic, let me just see what are the different components as far as railway is concerned. For different people, the railway is a small line in a Indian railway map or India map. But what are the different components which contributes for this train working? As I said in the beginning, the metro technology is in fact a highly technical topic, but it starts from the scratches, it starts from the fundamentals. I will take you here in this webinar around 2 hours in a very, very simple way, non-technical way, which can be understood by any non-technical person. As you know, this is the railway track. A railway track was laid way back in India for transporting the material. So we want a railway track. It is called as right of way, a permanent way. Different names are given for this railway track. Only by laying a railway track, probably we will not be able to earn the money. We are spending so much of infrastructure, so much of money. Hence, we require a locomotive to run on that, a train engine to run on that. We started with the steam engine locomotives, then we migrated to diesel locomotives, and finally now we are having electrical locomotives to run on. Simply laying a track and running the locomotive will not earn the money. We need to earn the money for that. Sabse bada rupaiya. Hence we added the coaches. Coach is to carry the passengers, to give the maximum comfort to the passengers, safety to the passengers. At the same time, more complaints from passengers also for non-functioning many components in the train. So passenger trains is not the only earning for the Indian Railways, or for that matter, for any railways. We went to the freight goods trains, freight coaches, no complaints. Whatever you load, it will reach the destination from the starting point. And it is our endeavor of Indian Railways to carry more goods every day, day in and day out. COVID-19 has really helped Indian Railways to run more number of freight trains and to spur the income of Indian Railways. To maintain the safety and also to lead the train in a safest way, the signaling system was also introduced. If we go back in the history, somewhere in the world, the railway started way back in the 1830s, and the signaling system was stepped in 1840s. Since 1840s, the railway is using signaling. Different transportation modes are using the signaling. As the different transportations are using signaling, why there is a separate signaling system for railways? Why don't we go with the same signaling system what we are having for other transportation? For example, the road transportation. But the railway requires a separate signaling system. It is again a technical matter again. We do support from Railway Academy in training the people in this railway signaling technology. A very interesting technology which is unfortunately not taught in any academic colleges, and it is not a part of our curriculum in graduation or master's degree. We have a training institute in India at Secunderabad, Indian Railway Institute of Railway Signaling and Telecommunication. I was a faculty member there, to be proud of, where we train the people of railways selected for the railway technology, right from supervisors to officers. Coming back to the different components, we have a locomotive now, plus way back in 1925, we introduced the railway electrification to haul more mileage, to carry more loads, and of late, Indian Railway is adding the locomotives with higher capacities. The railway electrification also is a technology by itself, which is running with 25,000 volts AC. However, the discussion more in detail about the railway electrification is not the part of our discussion today. We know the gauges, different gauges of the railway track. What are the different gauges? First of all, what is gauge? The gauge is the inter distance between the two rails of a railway track, the inner faces. The distance between these two rails, inner faces of the rails, are called as a track or a gauge. I do request here participants, those who are already aware of the railway technology, to kindly bear with me, as the audience are from different groups here, technical and also non-technical. There may be some topics which people are masters, need to bear with me. So different gauges are used across the world. However, Indian Railway confined to narrow gauge, meter gauge and broad gauge. Now, a uni-gauge system is being introduced on the Indian Railways to convert all the gauges, narrow and meter gauge, to broad gauges. We do have a few stretches of narrow gauges and broad gauge, meter gauges. But a standard gauge, which is in between the meter gauge and broad gauge, which measures 1435 millimeter, is used for metros. The question comes here, Why a separate gauge was selected for the metro technology? Why not to use the broad gauge, where we have nowadays across the world the standard gauge of the broad gauge? All the countries are using the broad gauge. Why not the metro went with the same broad gauge? The answer is very simple. The standard gauge allows better maneuverability as it can take sharp curves, making construction simpler in the congested cities. As the metro is confined to cities where the elevated track need to go in the cities without disturbing the existing infrastructure, need to have sharp curves. The standard gauge allows to have a sharp curves on these tracks. As such, across the globe, the standard gauge was chosen for the metro technology. India also went with the same standard gauge because most of the locomotives, most of the coaches manufactured by different worldwide companies were suitable for standard gauge. Why separate signaling for railways? As I was telling in the earlier cases, why there is a separate signaling system? The reasons for that is first one is the friction. The friction matters. The rails are of steel and the wheels are of steel. Hence, there is a less friction between the wheel and the rail. The train takes a longer distance to stop. Longer distance to stop at the same time. It is also carrying a lengthy load. The load also matters. The load of the train matters. You can see here how lengthy the train is. Even Indian Railways is running a train of now 2 kilometers length. Of late, probably people might have seen on the Facebooks or in the WhatsApp groups how the longest trains are running. So more the load, lesser the friction, the train takes more distance to stop. When you are traveling in a car with a speed of around 100 plus kilometers, when you are suddenly applying a brake, your car will take hardly few meters, maybe maximum 10 meters to stop. But that is not the case with the railways. The railway takes a longer distance to stop. Number one is the friction. Number two is the haulage, how much load it is carrying. Thirdly, the visibility of the railway track. The visibility is impaired. Visibility is disturbed. Visibility affects. Where to stop? We need to know. As the trains are running around the clock, maybe in the rainy season, maybe in the winter season, maybe in the foggy areas, maybe in the area where snowfall is there, the visibility matters. And during the rainy season or under such circumstances, under such climate, a water formation, a thin formation on the railway track forms, which again adds for lesser friction. The train takes longer distance to stop. Another factor is the gradient. The gradient matters. The railway track is not always in the level as you have on the roads. The roads are not always level. They are having sharp curves, sharp dips, up gradients, down gradients. The same fashion, the railway also runs on the sharp curves, the gradients. Especially in a falling gradient with the poor visibility, the driver needs to take more care. He should be more cautious to stop a train at a particular distance. These are the various factors which contributed in evolving a separate signaling system for the railways, so that I can give the information bit by bit. From faster the railway, slow down, and stop at a particular place. I need to give him information bit by bit so that the driver will be prepared. Remember when you were in the primary school, when you came with the record sheet of your examination. Your mother will be waiting at the door. She will give you information that your father is there inside waiting for the marks card. Now you are prepared to answer. You are pre-warned. In the same fashion, the railway driver also needs to be pre-warned about where she needs to stop. The railway signaling is of that sort wherein we ensure the various activities here. Number one is the railway communicates, railway signaling communicates with the driver the condition of the track ahead. How the condition of the track, is it clear or not? Is it set for him or not? Is there any obstruction on the railway track? All informations are conveyed by the signals. The locomotive driver is having a full confidence on this railway signaling, as it gives him at all the time the condition of the track ahead. The signaling also helps in guiding a train between two adjacent stations. As the railway network is spread over in different parts of the country, we have different stations for people to board the train, to people to get in the train, get out of the train. For that purpose, we have the different stations. Signaling is confined only to stations. There are no signaling system in between two stations. The signaling system will help a driver to negotiate from one station to another station. Plus, it also ensures safety of the passengers and to the flight. Highest safety is ensured by the train. As I said, the signaling will give more confidence to the driver to go ahead, and it gives the information about the track ahead. It also gives the comfort to the passengers. The railway track will give the comfort to the passengers, and depending upon the signal information, the driver controls the speed, which will give more comforts to the passengers. Signaling system also ensures within a railway station to accept a train on a particular platform. In a typical railway technology, we call it as receiving a train. In railway terminology, it is called as receiving a train. Receiving a train means it is like receiving a guest to your house. Where you want to receive your house, a guest to your house. Which room you want to receive him. Accordingly, you need to prepare yourself. So for that purpose, we receive a train. After receiving a train, the guest will not be staying longer. He is after all a guest. So he needs to go. So we need to send a train to another station, which is called as dispatching a train. So within the station, the activities controlled by the station manager or station master, station operator is to receive a train and also to dispatch a train to next station. Plus, we also have placing of particular vehicle from one line to another line. In a typical railway scenario, we cannot shift a coach from one line to another line and keep it there. We need to do to and fro movements, which is called as shunting. I'm using some technical words here with barest minimum explanation so that people can understand and also can get encouraged to join the railway technology topic to learn it. A very simple topic indeed. It also ensures between two adjacent stations how to run a train. Why it is so important to take more care to run a train between two stations, we will see in the coming slides. Coming to the railway terminologies here, a typical platform you can see here. In the railway typical platform, it is typically a double line station where the directional traffic is there. This, if we call as up train will go on one track, The down train will travel on another track. If you see in this station yard, which it is generally called as a station yard, we have 4 different lines here. On these 4 different lines, on the line, a straight line is called as the main line. The trains will run with the maximum speed on this main line. Down direction on this line, up direction on this line. It is a directional traffic as you have the double road, the same pattern in the double line. We have quadruple lines also. To take a train on another line, which is called as a loop line, we have points and crossings, which I will be showing you in the later stage. The points and crossings will make a train to divert from one line to another line. So these various components are there in the station. Number 1 is first, different tracks to receive the train on a particular line here, and points and crossings. As per the Oxford Dictionary, the definition of the point is around 24 different definitions are there for point, out of which one is a place where a train can be diverted from one line to another line is called as a point. Could you get my point? This is another definition. The lawyer was arguing on his point, a third definition. So different definitions are there for point. We are interested in this point where we can divert the train from one line to another line. I am not going more into the detail about the point working, point components, how it is done, how the trains are diverted. It is beyond the scope of this discussion now. However, one thing we need to know, if a train is traveling on the straight line, as you travel on the road, on the straight road, you go with the maximum speed. When you are taking a diversion either left or right, you are reducing the speed of your vehicle. In the same fashion, when a train is diverted from one line to another line over this point, the speed of the train needs to be reduced. Typically, it is 15 kilometers per hour, not more than that. When a train gets diverted from main line to loop line, if you see here, it needs to go with 15 kilometers per hour maximum speed to keep safety. So where to get diverted, how to control the speed is informed by the signaling system to the driver. This is a photograph. Don't see at the cow, see at the signals. A signal will guide the driver from one line to another line. So signaling system will help the driver to control his speed. And as I said, it is not the only one signal, it is a series of signals which makes the driver to drive his train safely. Another component of the railway is a very vulnerable place, the level crossing gate, what you call it the railway phatak or a railway crossing. This is called as crossing because where the rail track and the road traffic meet on the same level. Hence, it is called as a level crossing. The crossing is at the level. Both the railway track and the road will meet at the same level. And please remember, this is the only place where the people can cross the railway track legitimately by rule. No other place people are expected to cross a railway track, which is an offense. However, unfortunately, it is not followed. All the activities in our countries are done only on the railway track. Okay. It's a bit of other information, in fact. However, the railway level crossing is one of the component on the railways, maybe in the railway station or maybe outside the railway station, which again we need to protect. Two elements here. One, the passengers who are the road users who are crossing the railway track, and also the train which is passing across this railway track, this level crossing. We need to protect both the elements here, the road users and also the railway track. However, One good news for metro technology is there are no level crossing gates in the metros, as it is an elevated track. Another component is the train detecting devices, or what we call as a safety device. A small circuit is comprised, installed on the railway track, using the two rails as the conductors of the current, and the train detecting devices are installed on the railway track to know the presence of the train. So that if the train track is occupied, if the particular segment of the track is occupied, the signaling system should not be okay, or signal should not show a proceed information to the driver. To know the presence of the train, we use the train detecting devices. There are various train detecting devices used on the railways, which is another component of the railway technology, railway signaling. So we have seen here a railway track, points and crossings to divert the train, signaling system to guide the driver, a level crossing gate to ensure safety for road users and train traffic, and also the train detecting devices. These are the components in the railway yard, in the railway signaling system, to ensure highest safety. These all components are controlled from a centralized place called as an human machine interface, a panel. With the latest technology of railway signaling, all these components are controlled from a centralized place by the operator, the station manager, which is called as an operating panel, which depicts exact layout of the station. I repeat here again, the signaling system is confined generally in India only to the station, an area of around 4 to 5 kilometers. We have 8,000 plus railway stations on the Indian Railways. And this type of technology is being introduced in all the railways, almost all the railway stations, and all the components like signals, points and crossings, level crossing gates are controlled from this centralized panel, which is the backbone of all this is interlocking, which I will be coming in the later stage. Various symbols are used here. I am not going more into the detail of the symbols. As a matter of interest, when you go to a station next time, kindly peep into the station master's room. You can just see the panel, how the panel is. It may be having a push button, it may be having a knob, or it may be having a touch screen, or it may be in the olden days, it may be having the levers to operate the different components. It is a human machine interface. It's the interface between the operator and the components to work safely the signaling system. Interlocking is a system. To briefly tell you about the interlocking in a very simple way. Sorry. In the olden days when we were children, probably we were listening to stories told by our grandmothers. There used to be a king. And this king had a beautiful daughter. I don't know why all the kings are having beautiful daughter. A beautiful princess. And this princess was to be married, but unfortunately, a demon, a rakshas, उस बेटी को उठा के लेके गया. राजा परेशान हो गया. He was worried. Then he declared, whoever brings my daughter back, I will make him king. And also I will give my daughter to him in the marriage. Many people ventured. But it was difficult to kill the demon, the rakshas. One young guy came and claimed, yes, sir, I will find out your daughter and bring her safely. he had a confidence in him. He was on the way and he met a Rishi. The Rishi asked him where you are going, and the young man told, I'm in search of the princess. I wanted to bring her back. The Rishi told him, Mister, it's not that easy to kill that demon. Take these 3 stones with you. You will get a big lake. Throw 1 stone. You will get away there. Follow that way. When you go next, you will get a big cave. And the cave is having a big door, a strong door. Oh, strong दरवाजा है, वो दरवाजे को खोलने को आपको नहीं होता. दूसरा पत्थर यूज करो. दूसरा पत्थर फेंकने से ये दरवाजा अपने आप खुल जाएगा. खुल जा से खुल जाएगा. जैसे दूसरा दरवाजा खोलेगा, आप अंदर जाओगे तो आपको एक संदूक मिलेगा, एक बिग ट्रंक with a big lock. Open that lock. After opening that lock, to open that lock, you throw the 3rd stone. The lock will open. Now you can open the sanduk. There you have a key. Use that key and go to inside room, one more room. There is the pinjara. In that pinjara, there is a parrot. एक तोता है. तोता का गले घोड़ दो. Kill that parrot. The Rakshas will die. So these are activities in sequence where we need to do it. The interlocking also is in the sequential manner. Before a signal is changing from red to yellow, what we call it as an aspect of the signal. Now what you are seeing is a red aspect. From red aspect to go to yellow aspect, we need to take care of many safety features. We need to combine many features. We need to integrate many features. What are the part? First, we need to give the points. We need to ensure the correct setting of the point, whether the train is coming on the main line or on the loop lines. As I defined in the earlier slide, what is main line and what is loop line, we need to set the point. The operator will be able to set the point to the safe position. We also need to ensure that no trains are there on the track. The train detecting devices should tell me there are no trains there. Yes, these all activities will be done only in the presence of the station master. His consent is required. We will prove that also. Plus again, we prove that level crossing gates, the railway phatak, the railway gate needs to be closed for the public for a safe passage of the train. Plus, there may be signals in the opposite direction for the same line. We need to see that those signals are at danger, kept at danger. There may be some other controls also for that signal to be taken off. Ensure all those controls are satisfying. When all these components are synchronized sequentially, then only now a signal can be turned from red to yellow, red aspect to yellow aspect, which is called as caution. If anyone is not agreeing in these components, there are many other things also, in fact. If anyone is not agreeing, the signal will not change from red to yellow. How to ensure this? This is ensured by the interlocking system. In olden days, we had an interlocking, which was called as a lever frame, a mechanical interlocking. Way back when the signaling system started, way back in 1830s, 1840s, even on Indian Railways, some stations still we have this type of working now, which is called as a mechanical interlocking. Next generation of signaling started way back in 1940s, 1950s, with the electromechanical device called as a relay, which is heart of the signaling system. In each station, you can see a relay room, inside which the complete brain nervous system of the signaling system is working. That is the second generation. The present generation is with electronic interlocking. The electronic interlocking was introduced of late on the Indian Railways and it's being installed in many activities, many stations, which is the interlocking. Interlocking was achieved earlier mechanically. It is now being achieved with the relays also, and of late it is being achieved by electronic interlocking with the microprocessors. Interlocking is a process. What is that process? Many of us may be remembering this. Maybe our Dadima, she used to prepare the rice on the chula. With the firewood, she used to prepare. To prepare the rice, she wants the ingredients, the bartan, the raw rice, the chawal, and pani, the water that she used to put. The fuel was a chula. The rice was cooked on this. If any damage is to chula, she used to repair herself. Or she used to take the help of the grandchildren to repair it. Very simple device, very simple way it used to be repaired in the house, it used to be maintained also. Many of us, old people in this group probably might have seen this, might have known this, might have helped our grandmothers. वो कागज की कश्ती वो बारिश का पानी भले छीन लो मेरी जवानी वो बचपन की यादें. People can remember Jagdish Singh's ghazal here. Those olden days you can remember here. Next generation came when your mother got married. When she started her family, she used this stove, the pump stove. Same fuel, same stove was used to prepare the rice. Same raw rice, same bartan, same water. But the process is different now. Fine. Early in the morning, your mother will call you or your father to repair this with a small pin you used to put in the nozzle and used to repair it. You repaired it at your house, and it was very simple process to repair it, to prepare a rice. The third generation came. Look at the LPG stove, not at the gur. Same rice is being cooked by your wife when you got married on the LPG stove. Same bartan, same utensil, same rice, same water. But the process changed here, LPG stove. Sometimes, as usual, when you are rushing to the office, the LPG stove is not burning properly, your wife will shout at you, you will try to do something. You are in a hurry to go to office. Arey, usko bulao, kar dega. Now, an outside vendor is coming to repair this. An external agency is coming and repairing your LPG stove. Rice was cooked on this LPG. Your son got married and now your daughter-in-law is there to prepare the same rice in the micro oven. You are using the rice, raw rice and the bartan suitable for the micro oven and the water to cook the rice. The fuel is micro oven. As usual, your daughter-in-law will shout, "Arey, ye kaam nahi kar raha hai micro oven." You are afraid to touch it. You are now dependent on completely the external agency to repair it. It is in the warranty period or may not be in the warranty period. However, the repairing will be done by the external agency. Installation is done by external agency. The interlocking system also is the same. Interlocking is a set of principles. How you achieved it differs. The process differs. It was a mechanical signaling with lever frame, what I showed you. It may be a relay interlocking with the relays. Slowly, the external people started entering into the railway technology. And of late, the electronic interlocking, where completely it is manufactured by the private people, designed by private people to the specification of the railway safety specifications of the railways. But the manufacturing is done by the external agency. The principles remains the same. The ingredients of rice, mutton, and water remains the same. The process differs. This is how the interlocking process is going on. The metro technology is none other than this. It is the same technology, same concepts, but used in the different process, used in the different way. Now let us see here. There is one terminology here called as limit of moment of authority, the distance to go. Many people are having some chatting here. Probably I'm not able to now look at that. However, after the back, I will answer your questions. The moment you put some chatting, it prompts here, and probably some headings are rather otherwise missing. So I request all the participants to kindly put your queries almost when we are nearing for a break. Maybe another 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I'll give a break. So I have taken a small snapshot of the Google map, typically from Hyderabad, from the financial district, where we have a hub of all the bankings and also hub of the IT sectors. We have Wipro Junction, we have Wipro here, Capgemini, and ICICI Bank headquarters, HDFC Bank headquarters, Cognizant company, various companies, TCS, many companies are here. And there is a small junction, which is called as the Wipro Junction. And as usual, as 4 roads are meeting, there are 4 signals here. In the evening, you are completing your work and you are going ahead from your office to home. You are waiting at the junction, Wipro Junction, and you are now heading towards the IIT junction, another junction here, a distance of around 2 to 3 kilometers from here to here. Once you get a signal for your car, now you are traveling. As you travel, from Wipro Junction to IIT Junction, this is your limit of moment of authority. When you are given a signal at Wipro Junction, you are permitted to go up to IIT Junction, IT Junction. This is called a limit of moment of authority. The same limit of moment of authority is also applicable to railways. Now let us see there how it is implemented in the railways. I have a simple track here, and to show here 2 signals. Both the signals are in danger. And if I take off a one signal to yellow, a locomotive can travel, a train can travel up to the next signal. The information conveyed by this yellow light or yellow aspect, or called as caution aspect more technically, will authorize the driver to travel up to the next signal and pick up again the next signal, act accordingly. This is the limit of moment of authority in railways also. However, we will not stop here. Due to the less friction, more haulage, more infrastructure, more gradients, we will not stop exactly at this end of the limit of moment of authority. As you stop at IT, we give some extra distance called as overlaps, which is typical to railway signaling. What is overlap? Again, I quote here. When you were children, you were taking part in the schools for running race. One of the most joyous incident when we will be joining for sports activities in the school. Children enjoy it. When all of us are taking part, around 8 to 10 guys are participating in the running race. At the end of the 100 meters, there are 2 guys who are holding the ribbons. Your parents, your students are gathering to cheer you up, and some of the friends are standing very near to this ribbon. The guys who are holding the ribbon will tell, no, no, please keep this space empty, because the children who are coming by running, they may not stop exactly at this ribbon. They will cross it, which we need to keep as a safe distance. I call it as, in railway technologies, as overlap. For the reasons I told, in many reasons for the railway, the train which is expected to stop exactly at the signal may not stop due to the reasons told. Hence, we keep an extra distance beyond the signal where he needs to stop, which is called as an overlap. Prominently, there are two types of overlaps used on the Indian railways. One is called as a block overlap. Overlap is a safety margin, a safety distance, which is kept reserved for the train. The drivers are attempting or making their effort to stop a train at the red signal. However, due to some reasons beyond their control, if they overshoot the signal also, a place is kept reserved for them, empty of all the obstructions, empty of all other trains. No activity is there, which is called as a block overlap. Here, typically, if you go ahead, when I'm sending a train from one station to another station, the distance is around 8 to 10 kilometers. When the train is traveling from one station to another station, the limit of movement of authority is given up to the next red signal, which we call it as the home signal. But an area beyond that is now kept reserved for the train, which is called as a block overlap. No activities are permitted here as long as the train is being accepted. So this we call it as a block overlap. Now the train has come and it is waiting at the home signal here. And as the route is set for the main line, the train is expected to come and stop here. The driver is now already cautioned by these two signals, telling him that, Mister, you need to slow down the train. The distances are from this signal to this signal, distance signal to home signal is 1 kilometer, and from home signal to starter is typically more than 1 kilometer. It means at the distance signal, I am telling the driver to stop at home at this signal, which is called a starter. A clear distance of 2 kilometers, I am giving him a pre-warning to stop a train. Due to some reason or the other, if the drivers are not able to stop at a starter, I will give him an extra distance called as a signal overlap. These two overlaps are contributing a lot in railway signaling, which is kept reserved for the train. The block overlap and the signal overlap. Friends, I again remind here, what are the terminologies I'm using here? What are the techniques I'm using here? What are the concepts I'm briefing here are the part of metro technology. I'll come to that. The limit of movement of authority in the block section is up to the next stop station, which I have told you already. Guys, now it is a time for break. Let us have a break for 5 minutes. We'll assemble here again at 8 o'clock sharp. I will take up if any queries are there. Sumit will kindly assist me to put some queries on behalf of the audience, which are otherwise a bit important. There are around 25 charts I can see here. I do not know whether they are just charts or compliments or some queries or some comments. So you can put me queries at 8 o'clock. I will be here by 8 o'clock sharp. Huh? Yeah, Sumit, I'm back. Any queries, please? We just see the charts. There are comments here. Greetings. We shall be organizing much towards the second lesson future training program. Then please follow the link. Good evening, Parvatikar. All the thanks all joining this one. Okay, thanks. Hello everyone. Myself this one. Okay. Vishma from KSA. Chandra. Hello all. No audio. Pankaj, we can able to hear. Please check your audio. Okay. For the is it permanent speed restrictions? Okay. I think I have not mentioned anything about the permanent speed restrictions here. There are permanent speed restrictions depending upon the. Am I audible to all? Am I audible, please? Hello. Yeah, I should be audible. Okay. The permanent speed restrictions are there in the in the railways, but I have not mentioned about the permanent speed restrictions here. Our comes here. Next one is sir. After meeting finish, please share the PPT. Yeah, it is being shared and it will be available in our YouTube. However, you can kindly send a mail to Railway Academy. I'll be giving the information. We'll share the PPT. But as you know, my PPTs are only of the figures. You can go it. Is it a permanent speed restriction? I am facing technical internet issues with meeting. I can request to share the recording. Recordings are available on our network. You can definitely go through this. Histam Mullah, I'm sorry you are telling English speed. Yes, I will go ahead with the English now. Good evening, sir. I'm also facing the technical issue. Technical, I can share the later. Thanks. Then cannot see the video. I have not put any videos here. My videos is otherwise put off. Parish ki Kisti super sir, thank you. I am also facing internet problem. PPT Shelby webinar. What is the difference between SSI, CBI, and electronic interlocking? Very technical question indeed. Solid state interlocking, computer-based interlocking, and electronic interlocking. Sir, Mr. Durgesh Yadav, sir, probably you may have to attend our training courses where I will be briefing about the SSI, CBI, and electronic interlocking. Yeah. The time may not permit me to go ahead here, going more in detail. However, I appreciate your interest here. Why can't we use movable track which can also multiple trains to travel from one path, like in middle we have one track which moves and connect other side of the track house to factors. We do have this system in Chennai. However, the Indian Railway is not using the moving track because of the various constraints. Siding, in fact, I'm not covering here. The sidings are beyond the purview. Probably you may have to attend our other training activities where I'll be covering about the sidings. Very nice, sir. Thank you for the compliments. Please explain about the shunt permitted board warning boards. This is Mr. Veera Reddy. It is a highly technical topic again. Probably the time may not be sufficient for me to explain here. You may have to attend our training for knowing about the shunt permitted indicator and other boards. As you said, signal overlap is around safe distance for consuming limit of by the train. Is it that crime offense? No, it is not a crime offense. It's a safety margin. Yes, sir. Audible. Is audible. Okay, then good. No, kindly explain a little bit about siding and isolation as well. Mr. Karmankar, probably you may have to join our other technical trainings way to understand about the sidings and isolations and other siding activities. The recording will be shared. In fact, sir, give brief overview of the difference between AFTC and CBDC versus Excel counter. Again, it is a technical matter, very technical matter. Probably my time here may not allow me to cover all those activities in more in detail. How CBDC works actually, I am coming now. We are going ahead in that. Please take more power circuit used in metro. This is again beyond the purview of present technology. Goa metro is driverless. However, all the metros are driverless. There are some reasons why we are keeping the driver. Change the slide. What is the meaning? Falling track. Please explain. Probably it is a technical question which I need to explain in technical training. Kindly bear with me. How about signaling design course? Yes, we have signaling design course. You can attend the signaling design courses. Please follow on LinkedIn and also on the Facebook. Definitely we'll go ahead with the train control management discussion here. Yes, I'm discussing it. So these are the comments. Mr. Sumit, are you there? Okay, let me go ahead. And again, at the end, I will be taking the session. From the Railway Academy, we do run the different courses, different training programs. To name them as a signaling training program, basic signaling training for beginners, intermediate diploma courses, and the integration training program for people who are working about 50 hours. And we do conduct the train control systems, electronic interlocking, communication-based train control systems, CBTC, capsule training on our workshop for 4 to 12 hours on different activities. We are also contemplating to have a training on railway electrification, railway track technology. We have short-term courses on RAMs, Excel counters, ILC certification courses, and ERTMS. So please follow us on the LinkedIn or on the Facebook to know about this. We have with us the best of the best teaching faculties, Dr. Radhagovindan, Mr. M. Prakasham sir, myself, Narayan Parvatikar, Mr. M. Sharma, at DST, Mr. Vijay Kumar, Mr. Kannan, a PV engineer, Subbarao is a signal engineer, Mr. Ram Kumar, a signal design engineer, Mr. Radhakrishnan, a railway telecommunication and signal engineer, and Mr. B.S. Chanulu, a PV engineer, who are all the faculty members with us. These are our guys, our students who graduated from our institute and who are all placed in different companies. We have conducted the different webinars on CBTC and RAMs, on data loggers, and on IoT. Then the latest was on Simlex standards. Coming to our topic again some charts here. We do share this PPT and recording. Kindly be in touch with us. And as all of you have registered, the link will be sent to you. You can visit the YouTube Railway Academy site, and in the YouTubes you can see all these recordings. Okay, sir, any license for an electrical engineer working in traction generator electronics IRSC? I'm not sure about IRSC on the electrification and licenses for electrification. As I am a signal engineer, we do deal with only the IRSC license on railway signaling. Right. So let us go ahead. Now let us see the block system. The signaling system, I hope I am audible to all. Amir, I am unmuting. Am I audible, Amir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine, good. Kindly mute yourself and let's start again. So we have seen the signaling system which was confined to a railway station. Now we'll go with the block system. Block, if you see here, if the two trains are coming on the same track, as we have a track, a dedicated corridor, a dedicated track for trains, and when two trains are coming, naturally the new driver will shout at the old driver, you get out of the track, I want to go ahead. This is the concept. How to build the trains on the same track. Hence we had a block system across the railway network. I have taken an example here, Hyderabad, the famous Charminar and Qutb Minar at Delhi. The railway track is laid about 2,500 kilometers of track, spending a lot of money, crores of rupees. And when we started, we laid this track and we have started the train 100 kilometers per hour. Now the train is taking almost 25 hours to reach New Delhi. Till the train reaches New Delhi, we are not able to run another train. The complete track is reserved for one train because we do not know where the first train is. This will not solve the problem. We have spent so much of money and we are not able to use it. The answer is stations, where we can cross many trains, we can receive many trains, we can take many trains here. Hence the concept of the stations came in the railways. You can see a different lines, a different set of signals. I'm not going more into the detail about what are the different signals. It's only different directions. I'm explaining here up and down directions. I'm taking the trains on different lines using the different signals. Now, coming to the block section. Two adjacent stations are at the space of around 8 to 10 kilometers ideally. The signaling system is confined to a particular station, as area spread over about 4.5 to 5 kilometers. Now the distance between the two stations is around 10 kilometers. This area, which is called as a block section, how to run the train here? It is a space interval. I need to run only one train here at a time. To ensure only one train is running at this block section, which is meant for only one train, which is called a space interval, the block system was introduced in the railways. We have group of stations like that. This is the typical one station, and we have group of stations. Now, the station operator is the master of the station. He knows where to receive a train, on what line he needs to receive a train. Accordingly, the safety is ensured by taking off the signal backed by the interlocking system, the complete. Like that, we have many stations. But the station, this last station, sixth station, is not aware what are the trains coming to him, which train he needs to keep, which train he needs to send further, which train he needs to give the importance. He is not aware. He is only confined to his particular station. Now, to manage the train services in a group of stations on a given length of track, maybe around 200 to 3 kilometers, it is done by a person called as train traffic controller. Now, if you see here, as the first train is moving, the first train is coming to the station, equally at the second train, which is the important train, is following. To pass this train, the first train will be kept at station C, and the precedence is given for the express train, maybe a Rajdhani Express or whatever it is. Who will manage it? This is managed by the train control system. The train control system is typically a person who is controlling from a centralized location an area of around 200 to 3 kilometers spread over about 20 to 30 stations. is called as a train traffic control. He will oversee all the train. He will also plan the trains. He knows which train to be given precedence, which train to be kept at what station. So he needs to be in touch with all the station masters in that particular section around 200 to 3 kilometers, 300 kilometers, spread over about 20 to 30 stations. How we will get connected? Now, typically, if I see here on the Indian Railway map, for example, I have taken, there is one area from Delhi to Ambala Kant, I have taken one section where I have about 20 to 25 stations. Is controlled by one person called as train traffic controller. The second section may be probably from Delhi to Muradabad and up to the next Bareilly junction. The third area may be between Ghaziabad to Tundla, the third section. The fourth section may be between Faridabad, Delhi to Agra, right up to Gwalior, up to Bitlar Gwalior. So these are the different sections. In this group of stations, one called as one section, a train traffic to be managed, that is managed by a single person called as a train traffic controller. This train traffic controller is now in contact with all the stations connected with the telephone communication, which is connected parallelly, which is a typical for a railway scenario called as train traffic control. He will be in touch with all the stations. He will be giving the instructions to these people, which train to be kept, which train to be given precedence, where the train will cross. All these activities are given by, managed by, supervised by, planned by the train traffic controller. He will have a chart in front of him. A chart is being prepared. The y-axis will have the stations, the x-axis will have the different timings. He will plan the trains with different colors. A freight train, a passenger train, express train, super express, super fast trains, he will plan. Accordingly, he also supervises, he sees that the trains are running punctually. The trains which are already timetabled, the trains which are already having a scheduled timetable are running promptly. At the same time, he will also introduce the goods trains as and when the requirement is there to run the trains, to run the freight trains. A chart is being prepared by him. Of course, nowadays it is a software which is helping him to manage the train services. If we see here, the train control and operations, what are the different components? We have seen the stations. The station master is the master there for a particular area of station, controlling the different components like points, signals, level crossing gates, supported by interlocking system to ensure safety. He also is supported by the block system to run a train between two stations safely. The station master, safety through interlocking, temporary speed restrictions he will be conveying. So the block working, he is running the train between two stations. He is communicating with the train traffic controller about the arrival and departure of the train, which is right now done manually. The loco driver is guided by the signals. The loco driver is guided by the block system. Who runs the train safely? Over and above that, the train controller who supervises these activities is please sitting in a centralized place. Who is scheduling the train? Who is arranging the crossings? Who is arranging the precedence? Who issues the temporary and permanent speed restrictions? Manages. He also uses the time setting for all the stations across the Indian Railways. And other informations are passed on to the driver through the station masters or to the station master. These are the three main components of running the train. One, the station master, who is controlling the activity at the station. The loco driver, who is in charge of the train, who is running the train safely, plus the train controller, who is supervising the complete activities of train running in the particular section. Friends, please remember this slide is very important to go to next slide. Please see these different activities. CBTC, the communication-based train control system, is called as a moving block. To understand the moving block, first let us understand what is meant by fixed block. Fixed block is now the existing system, where the area between two stations around 10 kilometers is reserved for one particular train. I remind here, I talk here train. The length of the train may be around 700 meters, 600 meters, or only one engine of around 20 meters. But the length of 10 kilometers is reserved for only one unit, a train, maybe 700 meters or maybe 20 meters. The remaining space is not utilized in the fixed block, which will not help us in running more number of trains. This system is used, fixed block is used on the main line. However, to run more number of trains, probably we are having automatic signaling, which I am not covering here, where we are able to run more number of trains in the given track segment. Now let us go from moving block, fixed block, to moving block. What exactly is moving block? Let us see here. Typically, I have a tunnel here, a tunnel of around 200 meters. There are some restrictions not to put on the car right on, not to honk the horns. As the tunnel is straight, as you enter a dark space here, you are able to see the light on the other part of the tunnel. You can straight drive the car. The constraint is one car at a time. How to ensure? I have kept some twin brothers here as the safe security measures. At the beginning of the tunnel and at the end of the tunnel. At the beginning of the tunnel, the guy informs that car number 1, blue car color, enter the tunnel. His twin brother informs him the same blue car has come out of the tunnel. Now the tunnel is now free for next car. Next car will enter. This is exactly what we call as a fixed block. This is called as a fixed block. Now let us go to moving block. The same tunnel I want to use to run more number of trains. How can I use? You have sensors in the cars, in the rear sensors you have already. Suppose if I put a sensor in the front also, which senses the car ahead and keeps a safety margin, of around 2 meters, I'll be able to run more trains. Now let us see here. I remove the security guards. Now a car behind with a sensor will enter the same tunnel, and I am able to run more number of cars in the length of 200 meters of tunnel, which is a concept of moving block. This is how the moving block runs. Let us go to the moving block. If you see typically here, in the railways, you use series of signals, as I gave an example earlier. 4 signals, 1, 2, 3, 4 I have given here. First signal is danger, and the 4th signal is green, which tells the driver he can run with more speed. But as he comes to 3rd signal, he is now seeing 2 yellows, which is an attention aspect. The attention aspect conveys him that, Mister, The next signal is caution. You need to reduce the speed, so that next to next signal you need to stop. Now, it is the calibration of the driver to run a train so that he can stop his train at the first signal. It is a completely precise manipulation or control of the driver manually who controls the train. It is experience counts. Depending upon the haulage, depending upon the track structure, depending upon the curve, whatever now I have discussed earlier, depending upon the gradients, it is completely his experience how to stop a train at signal number 1, which he prepares himself a speed profile. According to the speed profile, he will stop a train at signal number 1. Now, coming to the CBTCA metro technology, a topic of today's interest, communication-based train control system is nothing new. The train control system is analogous to the sensory organs and central nervous system of the human body. It senses and processes information, makes decision, and transmits the commands. Also, as in the human body, the execution of the commands is not a function of the train control system, but of other parts specialized for that purpose. A very beautiful sentence indeed to explain the CBTC. The central nervous system, our brain, will only process. It will make the other parts to work. The hands, the legs, the eyes, the ears, the other parts will adhere to the command given by the brain. In the same fashion, in the train control system also, we have the same part here, wherein the central control system is only making the decisions and giving the instructions to different parts in the field to act accordingly. We have seen this train control system, train operation, the station masters, the stations, who was ensuring the safety, all the things, first component. The second component is the train driver, with his experience, with his calculation, with his knowledge of the track, who controls the speed, who ensures the highest safety for the passengers. And also the train traffic controller, who is overall supervisor of the complete section of around 200 to 300 kilometers, ensures the train movement in this particular section of 200 kilometers. These are the three main components to run the train system across the railway network. The train controller, who is rather scheduling the train, who is planning the train, who is supervising it. The station master, who is ensuring the safety by operating the signaling system and the different components. And the train driver, who is running the train safely and operating the locomotive. These are the three main components which are otherwise now coming to the communication-based train control system. The controller's role is now replaced by ATS, Automatic Train Supervision, a central nervous system of the communication-based train control system. And the locomotive, ATP, Automatic Train Protection, and Automatic Train Operation. Vehicle on board computer is assisting him to get the information, to control the trains. Equally, the station master's role also is now taken by Automatic Train Protection wayside and Automatic Train Operation wayside, and the zonal controller or the interlocking system, or you can call it the SSI, solid interlocking, which is now all the three are integrated through the communication network. The ATS system will give command to operate the signaling equipment at stations. It also gives a command to the locomotive to give the train operation and train protection, different activities of the driver, where to stop a train, when to stop it, when to start a train, how to control the speed, and the station master's activities like when to start a train. Instead of fixed block, we'll go to the moving block. The moment I'm going to the moving block, I need to know the presence of the next train, which is otherwise communicated by the train by itself. When the train gives the location, exact location where it is on the track, the technical information, I can allow the train in the rear to go up to the next signal, leaving a safety margin of the overlap what we have studied, the signal overlap. Up to that distance, the train profile, speed profile is now calculated and applicable to the locomotive. Each and every commands are being communicated from ATS system through the wayside system and through radio system. The process is same. How we achieve is different. The components are same, but the achieving is different here. So friends, as we saw in preparation of the rice, in the last leg, we saw the micro oven, wherein the private operator has manufactured, a private manufacturer has manufactured and has installed it and maintaining it for us. In the same fashion, all these different components are specified, manufactured to the specification of the railways, to their requirement, and they are interconnected. It's the complete role of a private organization, private party who are meeting the demand, who are installing and maintaining it. The more the technology, more the privacy. It is the bread and butter of a particular company to manufacture and maintain their secrecy and their logics. Hence, it is not otherwise being communicated to general public. But these are the main components. Whatever may be the company who are manufacturing it, the rules are same, specification is same. How you achieve is different. The micro oven specification is same. It can be manufactured by different company people, but the specification is given by the user. In the same fashion, the communication-based train control system is working. The metro technology is otherwise called as CBTC, communication-based train control system, or it is called as automatic train control, wherein we have three components: automatic train protection, automatic train operation, and automatic train supervision. These are the three components of ATC, automatic train control, or CBTC, communication-based train control system, or also I can call it as a metro technology. And as one participant has rightly told, it is a driverless train. It is a driverless train for operation. However, in case of emergency, to stop a train, to open the door, the presence of the driver is kept in some part of the country, in some part of the world. Not all the trains are manned by drivers. In other countries, it's a completely driverless train. Even now we have the system in Hyderabad Metro, it is a driverless train technology. However, to build the confidence in the passengers, if you see a train without a driver, probably we will not venture to enter the train. To build the confidence in the passengers and also to assist the passengers in case of emergency, the presence of the driver is kept. Otherwise, the CBTC, communication-based train control system, is definitely a driverless train technology. I have given here what are the components of a CBTC: ATC, automatic train control; ATS, automatic train supervision; ATP, automatic train protection; and automatic train operation, ATO. The main components of CBTC: avoid collision, that is automatic train protection is avoid collision, prevent passing signal danger, train detection, and train separation. I am just briefing here main components. As far as ATO, automatic train operation, is concerned, it is the train stopping, speed regulation, door control, and train starting. Coming to ATS, the brain, the nervous system, monitor train schedule design and implementing, route assignment and control, train dispatching from terminals, performance monitoring by obtaining train identity and location. Friends, this is the metro technology, how it works. More the technology, lesser is the maintenance. More the technology, more are the information. Hence, the CBTC is the talk of the day. In coming years, the railways or different countries, even in the India also, we have so much of metro projects coming across. It is a growing technology. People who are interested to be in this technology can definitely learn this, and it is a very easy technology. We do have a training course on this CBTC, a technical training course. Kindly watch on the LinkedIn. We'll be announcing, and the training is conducted by experts. I have told you what are the different faculty members here who are experts in this are conducting the CBTC course. Please watch on that. However, as the activities of the Railway Academy, we do conduct a different training on railway signaling also, a PGP postgraduate diploma courses or certification courses or capsule training, no limit. It is to meet your demand we will be conducting. I will just now go through the different charts what are given here. I will just come here. Sir, do you face a neutral section problem in metro also? Yes, we do come across the neutral section in metros. However, as the neutral sections are being now brought to 5 meters instead of 41 meters by using the separate it's a special type of insulator, so we do control that. And it is a technology by itself for the electrical side. I am not an expert in that electrical side. Railway Academy has given on chart here, and till now from the beginning, can I get the video recording? Yes, you can get the video recording. Railway Academy will definitely assist you to get the radio recording, and we are announcing the future training programs. Mr. Sumit has given the corrections there. Coming to the next slide here, guys. If any questions, please, you are welcome for any questions. Any Indian companies in the field of CBTC? Unfortunately, no, sir. We don't have right now any companies who have ventured to manufacture the CBTC system. Do Loco have TCMS? Yes, locomotives have TCMS. Train Control Management System is a protocol of telecommunication protocol, which is being worked as a communication protocol. Sir, explain about block instrument working. Mr. Arun, you may need to attend the detailed training, technical training, wherein we'll be discussing about the block instruments. Any other questions, please, before going ahead? I'm not sure about YouTube. What is YouTube? Any distance course in rail management? We are not conducting any rail management training. Of course, we are contemplating to conduct the rail management training. Now, presently, in this COVID situation, we are going with all online training only, distance education and online courses, but not distance education. We are not planned. It's a good thought. We will definitely think of that. Sir, SSI and electronic interlocking are same. Is there any major difference? Coming to this question, SSI and electronic interlocking, they are same, but in the scenario of UK, it differs, SSI. But whereas the electronic interlocking is different in the Indian railway system. When the electronic interlocking was introduced, it was otherwise called as solid state interlocking. However, the concept of solid state interlocking is something special for UK railways. Hence, the name is changed to electronic interlocking for the present system. Coming to one more here by Chandu. Could you please explain the failures of CBTC? No, sir. This may not be the platform of communication failure about CBTC. However, to go ahead with the CBTC failure as a system, we have fallback system. That is the reason we have the wayside signals in the metros. Otherwise, wayside signals are not necessary. They are all virtual signals. During the fallback system, the particular customer has asked for a fallback system to manage the train services. The fixed block systems are introduced that time, and we have the wayside signals. Do you provide any training on VMD part of the train signal system? Yes, we are providing. Mr. Radha Pandian, we are providing. Kindly be looking for our announcements. We are conducting a V and V part of the train signaling. Right now, a training is going on ramps, and V and V is the part of the ramps we are conducting there. It's a 30 hours training program which is going on and being conducted by experts. Probably another few sessions are left over. Once that session is over, we'll be announcing one more session of the ramps or V and V part. Definitely, you can join for that. Our administrative head, Mr. Sumit, will be keeping the track of all the mayor IDs, and he'll be circulating to all the people the various different programs of the training. Why Metro only prefer CBTC? Because to run more number of trains, communication-based train control system through which we are able to manage good lot of trains, the timings between two trains, the headway what we call, can be managed by CBTC. So the maximum headway, minimum headway we can give is 2 minutes between two trains. So that is possible with the moving block system. Hence we go with the metro. It is just like running a city buses. As you have more number of city buses every maybe few minutes, every half 15 minutes, 10 minutes, more number of buses on a particular route. On the same dedicated track of the railways, to run more number of trains, we need to go with a moving block technology, which is possible with CBTC technology. Unmanned train operation is a part of CBTC itself. So it is a completely unmanned train operation. CBTC by default, it is unmanned train operation. But as I said, to maintain the confidence in the passengers and also to operate in the emergencies, we go with the drivers. Otherwise, it is completely unmanned. Even the system is integrated with the screen doors and with the platform doors. Only on the arrival of the train, the doors will open, otherwise doors will not open. That is all done we integrated. All the systems are integrated in the metro technology. Is there any provision to get IRSC or the IRSTLO license while working in Indian Railways as TNC or installation engineer? Yes, you can get. You can get. IRSC is having a separate license for testing and commissioning, and also IRSTLO is rather being introducing the testing and commissioning. Probably you may need to visit IRSTLO site and be in touch with the working body, chairman and secretary of the IRSTLO to get more particulars about this testing and commissioning. Definitely, it is an installation engineer. Yes, it is there already in the IRSTLO. How we learn CBTC? Very simple. Attend our training course, you will learn the CBTC. The day we introduce ourselves as a KR system, a general contract firm to execute a project with our well-equipped system qualified teams. We are into contract working with the Agra UP and have successfully executed any projects various companies. Thanks with our information. We will highly be obliged to get a volunteer to be part of the reputed organizations awaiting to hear from you soon. Sure, sir. Please be in touch with us. We'll get you connected with the other people. Sunil Gopal Krishna, excellent presentation is similar. World's best time spent with the Railway Academy. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for your compliments. CBTC scope in India at this time, very good it is. Excellent it is. No doubt about it. We are going with CBTC. And Arjun Singh has commented CBTC scope in India this time. It's very good. Then is there any safe distance beyond red signal if increase driver jump side? There is a signal overlap what we are preferring. Signal overlap typically is about 120 meters. It's given beyond a red signal. And the drivers are very much careful. They are not supposed to pass a signal at danger. However, due to reasons unknown, if he passes the signal also, another safety margin is kept. We do have some systems nowadays. If the driver passes the signal and if he is not able to stop the train even in the signal overlap distance, the automatic train protection or TPWS, train protection and warning system, and TCAS, which is being now introduced on the Indian Railways, are now definitely controlling the speed and applying the brakes. Please discuss GOA level, sir. Probably may not be at this stage. You may have to attend another training course. ATP will not be allowed to stop train immediately. ATP do allow it. It is a train protection system. It will stop the trains. In fact, if the driver is passing a signal at danger. Case studies explained very nicely to enable for easy understanding, sir. Nice presentation. Thank you. Sir, can you provide next schedule of RAMS training? Yes, I mean, the moment it is over, after a gap of maybe about a month or so, we'll be announcing the RAMS training. Kindly be in touch with us or be lookout for our LinkedIn postings. We are conducting the RAMS training. There is a very good response for RAMS training. How CBTC work on field? Need to attend the detailed training course on CBTC, which is coming in coming days. What is the distance of signal overlap in Indian Railways? It is not less than 120 meters. What is the scope of monorail in Indian Railways? Sorry, sir, I'm not more connected with the monorail. However, we are contemplating to conduct a session on monorail by Mr. Rajesh Patel. He'll be able to talk on monorails and he'll be able to tell the scope of the monorail on the Indian Railways. Can ERTMS be implemented in the place of CBTC? ERTMS level 3 is nothing but CBTC. However, the specifications for ERTMS level 3, which can be applied on the main line, is not being finalized. It is yet to be finalized. Saurabh Agarwal has commented with 120 meters of signal overlap. Thank you very much, Saurabh Agarwal. Thanks, sir. Overall presentation was really good. Thank you very much, Mr. Radha Pandian. Please discuss UA level, sir. Then LRT, light rail transport. Rail transport is of course not being much having scope on Indian Railways. What will be fee for design course, sir? A question indeed. With the dice, I need to answer these questions. Please wait. First, it is not that costly also. So depending upon the duration, the course fees will be very, very less for us. We are more interested in spreading the knowledge rather than making the money. Please understand that. So our course fees are very much lower and people can afford to join that. And we also give some different schemes also for the fees. Kindly be in touch with our administrators, so he will tell you more about that. Sir, is there any job opportunity after training in related companies? We will try to get coordinated with the different companies. And as you saw, most of our PG diploma course guys have already on the job. I mean, they got placement in different companies. For other short-term courses also, we are networking with different companies, and nowadays more companies are coming to Railway Academy for recruiting. The training what we impart is a qualitative training, so definitely we will help in that, but we cannot give the guarantee that immediately after the training you will get the job. We will definitely try to help you. We will give you a promotion for that. As we are having all variety of locomotive with various hotel locomotives in India, can we maintain or modify these locomotives with metro control systems? Yes, it is possible. I will, Mr. Pankaj, you can get connected with me. I will guide you to a person who can guide you to work out on this system. That is a good thought impact. And Mr. Thanks for this information, sir. Please share its video link. PPT video due to downloading. Okay, send the video link. It's better to create a WhatsApp or Telegram group in the name of Railway Academy. I hope we have done it. Kindly be in touch with the Railway Academy. Definitely, where a Telegram group is being created, please join that. We'll give you the information on the Telegram groups. Thanks for an informative presentation. Thank you, Shreya. Then good information indeed need to have this kind of session. Thank you very much. We'll definitely go for that. Any ISO or EN standard for CBTC? It is going with EN standard only. EN 102, 126, 127, and 129 are EN standards for CBTC. In fact, last week itself we had a webinar on SINLAC standards and uh, this SIL standards. We are also conducting a detailed training on not ISO standard but European standards on the SINLAC standards and SIL, separate technical level. We are conducting a detailed training. Kindly look for our advertisement and our LinkedIn posting. Then this career option as compared to many maintenance or service sector of the railways is signaling best career option in railways as compared to maintenance or service sector of the railways. I cannot tell it's the best career, but it is a career. It's the very one of the best career. I can tell because the signaling system is evolving system. At any time, it is being revamped, it's being changed, it's being adopted, new technology is being adopted. There is no recession in the signaling field. There are recessions in IT field, but where there is no recession in the railway technologies. Not only in the railway signaling, but also locomotive or track technology, whatever it is. We have periodical replacement for that. Hence, there is no recession here. So there is definitely scope here. Eager to know more training, especially on distance course in railway management, lot of scope and trainer and assessor. Sure, we'll come back to you for the railway maintenance. The management courses, distance courses. Can you share your contact email IDs, please? I'm just giving you at the end of this session. I will give you the mail IDs and contact numbers. Yeah, we do give the certificate for attending the training courses, not this webinar, but the training courses we we have a assessment system after successfully attending the assessment and passing with the minimum 60%. We definitely give the certification for having attended and successfully completed the uh, different courses. Need guidance and fees details of IXTRO and IRCT license of testing and commissioning. Generally, IFSRO is charging around 85,000 plus taxes for licensing. It is better you kindly visit the IFSRO website and you will get more details there. When we expect a safety management training, sir? Safety assessment training is planned in the second week of August. We'll be conducting the safety assessment training. With which firms we are tied up for jobs after training? We are tied up with Alstom, Ansaldo, Cyient, and Tech Mahindra, Thales, then other companies like Indian companies like Kalpataru Power Transmission, Kalindi, GG Tronics, different companies we are tied up. So all these people are otherwise contacting us for the placements. When is the plan of functional testing training? It is the plan in the mid of August. What are the benefits if we are already working with the Indian Railways and having knowledge of the train system of our training? You're already having benefit of knowledge, sir. You can improve your knowledge and you can particularly enter a particular field, which will help you. Difference between the signaling and TCMS. Signaling is more the safety type, but whereas train control management system is a telecom protocol. It is a non-vital system, but whereas signaling is a vital system. Any training for engineering students, all trainings are for engineering students only we are conducting. When you are expanding up to major metro links, Delhi is pretty hard to come to deep south for training for working professionals. We are conducting all the trainings online. However, if companies want some training in-house at their locations, we are ready to come and impart the training at your places. Is there any course on ITI or which course to go after 12th? Yes, we have planned the wireman courses. You can definitely go for the wireman courses, which are generally people are preferring the people after the 12th or ITI. So either the wireman courses or testing courses. So these courses are generally planned for them. Well, sir, it is time up now. Now, happy Raksha Bandhan. I wish all the people happy Raksha Bandhan on 3rd of August. And having joined this training, thanks a lot. This is our mailing address and contact numbers. You can be in touch with us, contact us, and definitely we'll be supporting you for all your training needs. Thank you very much for joining this session and making it lively. I really thank your comments. Yeah, I thank your interaction, the questions what you asked. Thank you very much. Thanks one and all. Thank you.